Hello! In this video I'm going to be restoring this record, number 4 Vice. I got this from a scrapyard because it's quite heavy. It cost me a tenner. It weighs in at just under 20 kilos. It's not that badly beaten up, but it's rusty. The paint job is awful, it needs re-greasing and it needs lots of rust cleaning off. So I'm going to take it apart. Different makes of Vice get taken apart in slightly different ways, but they are all quite similar. So what we're going to do is we have got to take out the end of the thread that this sits on, which is a nut that sits in just there, and we've got to take this off of this jaw. Then we're going to take then we can take the jaw out. We can take these jaws off, give it a good wire brush, give it a paint and put it back together again. So what I'm going to do first is to remove a pin that holds a nut in. This will become a little bit more obvious when I've got it completely apart. So if I just that out all the way, you can see there is a pin that holds, that stops this little dovetail sliding out, and that has got the nut on it. But this can't come out any further because it'll hit the nut. In some makes of Vice you can just take this straight out, which obviously makes disassembly slightly easier. So actually, let me just get a little pen, and I'm just going to go and put a little mark there so I can see if I've moved it at all. Turn it upside down, get an appropriately sized punch and an appropriately sized hammer. That's in there. See if that looks like it's moved at all, which it hasn't. That might be just too long a punch actually. So it's too springy. Oh, that moved. It felt like it moved. Did it? There we go. Right, so that pin is out. Put that somewhere safe for the moment. I can put the punch out of the way, I don't need that again. Next thing to do is to get in there and take out the split pin that holds that on. So let's just wind that back in a bit. For reasons which you'll see why in a sec. Right, okay. That split pin looks like it's had a rough life. Fortunately, I don't have another one. Never mind. No, we do. Right, let's go back out that far. Right, so I'm going to just get in there. And straighten that split pin up. We'll try to. So if it wants to turn, I'm just getting a screwdriver underneath it. That's better. That seems to be the way to do it. Right. So we give a little bit of a gentle push. Right, got to push it a little bit. So we're now going to turn that around the other way. pair of screwdrivers to push against there, take the pressure off the spring, grab the split pin, which is now not under pressure at all, and pull it out. Ta-da! Down there, you can let that go. So that's easy. We now need to knock the nut out, which we're going to do. So the nut is sat under there, it's in a dovetail, it'll become clear in a sec. Where did I put the tool fine adjusting? Where's it gone? Can't have gone far. There we go. That's the nut loose. So if we just hold that shut and undo this, that should wind the nut out along this shaft, which it has. Now hold on to that. Out. You'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing very shortly. Okay, so out comes that, and right, so that's the nut, has a dovetail, that's the threaded bit, and you'll see where it sits in a minute. And now we can just pull this straight out, like that, put it down like that, and you can withdraw the bar, slide this down, come on. Take those two out. It was nice and easy, wasn't it? Right, so that will sit back down in there. When we're done, then we knock the pin through. Obviously you can't get it in and out while that's in the way, so you can't get it in and out very easily. That needs to be back on before we put it back in, so it will be a case of having this slid in and feeding it in. Right, so now what I'm going to do, that's going to be cleaned up probably with a bit of paraffin, probably that as well. Those little bits I shall put somewhere out the way so they don't get lost, and they will want cleaning up and then re-greasing. Let me get those out of the way and I'll be back to you in a sec. Let's give this stuff a clean. I have some paraffin in a bowl. Happens to be quite heavily used paraffin, but that's not that important. And a Poundland paintbrush. Get all this crud off. Ancient Greece. Just realised what I just said there. And this thread up this end is not that important because it never engages with a nut, but that'll do. Right. And now lots of clean bits. Let's go and clean the cut off that bit, and just stuff out the way. Right, so now we're just going to take the jaws off. If you can't get these off, you can use a hammer driven impact driver to get these off. Fortunately these are not particularly badly on, neither seats or anything else, so we could just whip those out. And we'll give those a clean up doing the wire brushing. I'll give the screws a clean out later. Right. I think that's ready for painting. Also mask off the areas that need masking, there's quite a few of them. Right, I'll do that when the dust has settled, that'll be tomorrow. Hello, so we've wiped all the rust off. What we're now going to do, or just wire brushed it all clean, most of the old paint off and the rust. I'm just now going to go and give it a quick wipe down with mats just to take off any extraneous grease and mask it up, and then get out a can of spray paint. Let's get some masking tape out. Yeah, we don't want painting the ducts out either, so we're going to go and cover that up. just stick one straight across there. Okay, and last but not least, two wood fillers down the front. Let's get some paint out and do some painting. So, I'm painting it with Hammerite smooth metal blue, smooth blue, giving it the obligatory shake. I'm going to start by painting it upside down so I can get to the difficult bits, flip it back up the right way, and then finish painting it and let it set. So let's just crack on with that. 6-inch away spray. A few runs on this, I might need to yeah, we're going to end up with a few horrid runs on this, never mind. I'll be back in a while when this paint's had a chance to set. That will be a few hours. Oh, hold on, I missed a bit. Right, that looks like it's going to be alright. See you in a minute. So, I've painted this all, stripped all the rust off. I haven't stripped all the rust off the jaws and not completely cleaned up the thread and bar, but the thread's clean. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is take off the masking tape and let's see how good this job is. See if I can get the stuff off. for reassembly. It's going to get greasy around here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get the bits out. Actually, I'm going to put, I really should clean these up a little bit, really. Clean those. Put the jaws on. That's not going in right. Oh, there we go. If you have trouble getting these screws out, you can use something like this, which is an impact driver. This one's by Silverline, it costs about £7. Show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like, and you would put that in like that, and as long as you make sure that it's turning the right way, you hit that with a hammer. When you hit that with a hammer, that turns and causes it to undo. Or do up, depending on which way around you have it set. Right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to put some grease on in places. So I need to run a tissue up there just to get rid of the paraffin I used to clean it off. So that is going to go in there, except that way round. Yeah, and then once it's knocked in, we'll put the pin in there. But before we do that, we have to put this on. So first things first, put this and slide this in. What I'm going to do is tip that on its side, and that means we can see from here, I can see the dovetail. So that which I've already greased, I can feed up through there, slide it into the dovetail, and then stand that back up, pull that back hard, and we can put the pin back in. Where it goes in that way with a hammer, and that's down to its original line that I marked when I took it out. So now we need to put this in, instead of already greased. Okay, what you want to do is pull that out a bit. Push that through the hole. Sugar, grease everywhere. Right. slide that into the hole like that. We're then going to feed the spring over and the washer over and slide that down. Keep hold of the washer. It will tend to. Right, okay. Now feel that going in at the end. No, okay. Putting on? Yes. Okay. If you let go of this washer and it gets stuck down there, you're going to have a nightmare getting it moved, so you might as well just take the whole thing apart again. Right, we're going to wind this up until the point where we can get a little bit of leverage on it. And we can now get in there with hold the split pin in the right place. Okay, so we can now get in like this, like this. No, not quite. The split pin is through. Take the screwdriver out, spin that round, grab hold of an end and bend it back down. And there you have it. Right, let me just turn that, before I turn it back over, let me just give that a clean down. There's got horrid grease all over it. This thing is a bugger for its weight. It's not a lightweight tool, this one. Nice big chunky vise. There you go. You'll agree that looks a bit better than it did at the beginning. Let's give that a clean off. Hold on. And a quick oil up. there we have it. Thank you for watching. Hope that was really useful to you. Really do need subscribers, so I'd be grateful if you subscribed, and please like and share.